Hi, I'm Chris Witherspoon, and right now I'm sitting down in a room full of people that I think are legends. Blair Underwood, Miss Cicely Tyson, and Vanessa Williams. Thank you guys so much for sitting down and talking to me today. I'm so happy to see this show, Trip to Bountiful, come to the TV. I saw it on Broadway. I loved it. How important is it for young people to see this show? Because when you think about Trip to Bountiful, I think you think it's a play from my mom and my dad, or a show from my mom and my dad. How important is it for young people to get the message behind this?
I think it's extremely important for young people. That's who I hope get a chance to see it most, because I think it gives them a greater understanding of elders and a greater respect for them, which I think is missing in youth today. The tendency is to slough them off. They don't want to hear what you have to say. They certainly don't do what you direct them to do. And what they need to do is sit down and talk to them about their lives, the past, what they've lived through, and how they are benefiting from the price that the elders have paid in their youth.
And Miss Tyson, I think you were incredible in so many roles. In Roots, and the role you played as Harriet Tubman. What was it like for you to see 12 Years a Slave win Best Picture, and how important do you think Roots was in enabling a film like that to get into theaters?
Well, there's no question, but Roots sort of put a needle in everybody, so to speak, because anywhere I go in the world, people will look at me and say, Roots. So, first of all, it stimulated an interest in their history. Secondly, I think, God, I'm sorry, I get really, say something. I can't because I get choked up.
Okay.
She paved the way.
Definitely.
We're talking about Roots. We're talking about Miss Jane Pittman.
Yeah.
She was the person that I looked up to as an actor, sitting on my parents' bed watching event TV back in the day and saying, one day I can do that. And it's the role, it's the character, it's the story. It's her ability to tell the story that paved the way for us to be able to have opportunities. And again,
Sidney Poitier said something very interesting on the Oscars the other evening. He said he was very pleased about the direction in which the business was going, and that he hoped that we would continue in that vein. And I knew exactly what he meant. The one thing that I appreciate about what's happened in the last few years is the fact that each one of those major films, The Butler, 12 Years of Slavery, and Mandela, suddenly to me became history lessons for our youth. To me, that is the importance of those kinds of films. They're not taught our history in school. And if we don't teach them, they won't know who they are, or what they are, or why they are even here. And for me, I could not be more grateful for those three major works.
Wow, so well said, so well said. And this film, Trip to Bountiful, received a major accolade. The White House, Michelle Obama, screened this film. I think that was so beautiful. How important has the Obama administration been in shining lights on arts and culture? This is not the first film that they've screened at the White House. They screened 12 Years a Slave, they screened The Butler, so many. How important is it for the presidential administration to acknowledge films like this?
People speak of the presidency as a bully pulpit of sorts, but there's such a stature and a status with that office and that complex of the White House. I mean, Mrs. Obama brought her daughters to see their play. But to bring a production into the walls of the White House and give it that platform in front of the world to say we view this as important and worthy of our time is extraordinary. So to do that they've done a number of films, but to have an ear and an eye and a spirit and a soul to say those films too, with those actors too, should share this kind of presentation. It's amazing, and it's important to do. And they obviously understand that, and they do it.
We cannot forget that he is our leader, and that's who we follow. And once he puts his stamp on anything, we're going to at least seek to find out why. And I think really that's the effect it has had.
Well, again, it was such an honor. You all are legends in my eyes, and I think everyone should see this film, young people, elderly, whoever, because it's an amazing story, and I'm so glad that you're bringing it to TV. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.